Back students, in this new chapter, we'll learn develop our first web map, and in the process of doing so, we'll be learning mapping libraries. Actually, we'll be using mapping libraries to develop our first web applications. So what is a mapping library? Mapping libraries are tools that allow developers to develop interactive maps. So mapping libraries enable the developers to create interactive web maps for the users so that the users can interact with the special data with very ease. And they give various functionalities like displaying both your vector and raster data and applying different styles and making multiple tools available on your web map so that the users can easily interact with your data. And there are many mapping libraries. Three of the most popular mapping libraries are Leaflet, OpenLayers, and Mapbox JLJS. First mapping library is Leaflet. Leaflet is open source JavaScript library for interactive map. So Leaflet is open source and it is based on JavaScript library. It is based on JavaScript. So it is a JavaScript mapping library. And the main features of Leaflet are that it is lightweight and is very easy to use. And it supports various map tiles like OpenStreetMap, Mapbox, and a tons of tiles there. And it is highly customizable with plugins for extended functionality. And it is also mobile friendly with touch interactive support. And the benefits of Leaflet are that it has a simple API and the documentation for the API is very good and the community support is very strong. Actually, we'll be using Leaflet for developing our fast web applications, and also throughout this course, we'll be using Leaflet. So I will, in the next lecture, I'll go to detail into Leaflet, that what actually is Leaflet, and I will also show you the API and the documentation for Leaflet. Another very popular mapping library is OpenLayers. So OpenLayers is also open source and it is also a JavaScript mapping library. And it can handle complex JS functionalities and supports a wide range of map sources and formats like WMS, WFS, and GeoJSON. These tools are used to serve vector and raster data from GeoServer, but we'll see that how we can better show our vector and raster data by other approaches through Leaflet, and that will be better than the GeoServer. And if you are not familiar with GeoJSON, I will have a separate lecture on GeoJSON. There I will discuss the detail about GeoJSON. We'll be using the GeoJSON as our data format. So if you do not know about it, you do not need to worry about that. We'll discuss the detail about GeoJSON. And the benefits of OpenLayers are that it is very powerful and flexible, and it can handle geospatial data in a robust way. But the cons are that the learning curve is very steep, and the file size is larger compared to Leaflet. So if the file size is larger, your web map will load a bit slow. And also another cons is that the documentation for OpenLayers is not that much rich in compared to Leaflet. So the Leaflet API documentation is excellent. And another very popular mapping library is Mapbox. Mapbox is not open source. It is a commercial mapping library, so you need to pay in order to use that. So the features are that it serves high quality maps and it's good for advanced analytical functionalities and also for data and also for advanced data visualization, like Mapbox supports 3D GIS, or you can render and show 3D features with Mapbox, but you cannot do that with Leaflet. That is one of the limitations of Leaflet. And it has different SDKs for mobile and web development. So the benefits of a Mapbox are that it serves professional grade maps with high performance, and the API of Mapbox is well documented, and it's also excellent. But the concept that requires subscription for advanced features. So there is a free tier for Mapbox. You can use that by you have to register with your credit card, and up to a certain limit you can use it for free. But if you reach beyond that limit, you need to pay for your every uses. And it can be fairly complex for simple mapping needs. So these are the three mapping libraries: Leaflet, OpenLayers, and Mapbox. So if we compare the three, we can see that the Leaflet is easy to learn and the documentation is excellent. So for any API, the main strong point is the documentation. Maybe your API is very good, but if it is not well documented, users cannot use that. In that case, the Leaflet is the most well documented, and it can serve fairly complex map functionalities with its extensions. We'll see in the next lecture we'll see in the next lecture the documentation of Leaflet and how we can use that for our mapping needs. So see you in the next lecture.